Clay Patton on the Rural Radio Network and the annual No-Till on the Plains. Their 27th annual winter conference is coming to Wichita, Kansas, January 23rd to the 25th. To tell us more about this event, we're joined now with Aaron Sawyer. He's No-Till on the Plains Executive Director. A little bit new in the role, but it's still excited and working hard for farmers who are in no-till systems. Aaron, give us a rundown what's happening at this year's annual meeting for No-Till on the Plains.
So No-Till on the Plains Winter Conference, in my opinion, is one of the better conferences in the country to attend. Kind of a grassroots board that always strives, for education to meet you where you're at. So if you're just starting or you've been in it for, longer than the organization, it's a really neat, special organization. So we've got a really nice speaker lineup to challenge your whole paradigm.
Give us a rundown, a highlight of some of the folks that are going to be speaking this year, as well as that early hands-on workshop that's happening at the beginning of the conference.
The early hands-on workshop, there's an advanced session where guys are using, biology to decrease inputs, increase profitability. Then there's a fundamentals workshop going on the same day for people who are just newer, maybe not as far along in their journey. What I would say, just to highlight a few of our speakers, we have Tom Robinson, farmer from Australia, Blake Vince, farmer from Canada. Those are both, kind of our bigger keynote speakers. Ray Ward will be there, David Brandt, Jerry Doan, and several others.
There's going to be a lot of great speakers. And now, working in agriculture and knowing about the no-till organization, is there any speaker in particular that you're looking forward to?
David Brandt, I've heard him before, but he's going to give a presentation that I've never seen called 40-plus Years of Soil Health, My Journey. I don't know if you know who David Brandt is. He's kind of the godfather of cover crops or soil health. He started this, in the 70s.
Aaron, we know that we have drought really kind of raging across the plains. You more than anyone else may know it as well, being there in southwest Kansas, where D4 seems to be a very common occurrence. With that, is there a move to go to no-till, or more folks curious about no-till? Where is kind of the no-till in the thought for a management system on a farm right now?
So no-till, I think it's the best tool. It's not the only tool. And even, we had this drought start here last year and intensify this year, that even if you are no-till, it still has to rain. But it seems like we're more insulated against drought or flood. We were 45% of our average rainfall here this year, and it came in about 3 different rain events. So we have to have more resilient soils to be able to capture that, so we can get through drought. So no-till is a good tool to help with that.
Aaron, we briefly touched on it towards the beginning of the conversation, going over what's all happening at the annual meeting coming up in Wichita at the end of January, but there's also the Fundamentals of Soil Health workshop on January 23rd, so that's actually the pre-conference workshop. It's more hands-on. It's going to be a full day. It's going to be all happening right there. Kind of give us a breakdown and a rundown. Why is it important for farmers to be able to attend this more hands-on type workshop?
So where I think, and this is another thing of the No-Till on the Plains organization, is the networking, the friendships. It's almost like an extended family. So that's where, the fundamentals workshop that's going on that day is where people who are wanting to transition, to more of a soil health system or more no-till can come and kind of just get basics of, how do you have this conversation with your landlord, or how do you get a lease with them to protect your long-term interest as a tenant, especially if that landlord's related to you. Sometimes those family conversations of, switching from conventional system to a no-till system are hard. And this is a good common place to come and work on that.
Aaron, for folks to find out more information, get the registration ball rolling, what is the best way to do that?
So the best way for all things Winter Conference is go to our website, notill.org. It has all the information for registration, accommodations. The agendas are there. There's speaker bios, or give me a call.
Again, we are talking with Aaron Sawyer. He is the executive director, new in the role as well with No-Till. Aaron, talk to us about your journey coming into No-Till and what you hope to be able to do as executive director.
My journey, went to Hutch JUCO, went on and finished at K-State. Worked for a veterinarian for a couple years, got an opportunity to move home, work on a cow-calf ranch, Then I spent the last 8 years as a county extension educator in my home county. That position really prepared me to step up into this role. So I came into this role in May. And the one thing I really, really like, we talked about drought. The economy's not that whippy. Things are tough, but the no-till organization, most people are excited about production agriculture. And that really, really spoke to me through my interview process and through, my first 7 months on the job. Of I've kind of had a saying of, I like to farm like there is a tomorrow, because chances are there's going to be. So it's nice to work with an organization that shares that same optimism.
Again, that is Aaron Sawyer. He's Executive Director of No-Till on the Plains. Aaron, thanks so much for giving us a rundown of this year's upcoming conference in Wichita, Kansas. It's the 27th annual. It's happening January 23rd through the 25th. Again, learn more at notill.org. Aaron, the last word is yours, sir. Final thoughts, closing comments for us.
Make plans to be there. I'd like to meet you. I'd like to grow with you and just learn how to take better care of our soils.
And again, Aaron Sawyer, Executive Director, No-Till on the Plains, their annual conference at the end of January. Thanks for listening to the Rural Radio Network.